Recently, Donald Trump retweeted a statement about how the impeachment inquiry and investigation into his conduct with the Ukrainian president would lead to a civil war-like fracture in America. And a Republican representative, Adam Kinzinger, wasn't too happy about that tweet. In fact, he said, quote, "I have visited nations ravaged by civil war. I have never imagined such a quote to be repeated by a president. This is beyond repugnant." So there's a growing number of representatives on the right who are willing to, some of them are a little more timid in the way that they call Donald Trump out. This is, I guess, a little more, I don't know if aggressive is the right word, but at least he's calling it what it is. It's repugnant. And what Donald Trump is doing here is he's really planting a seed, right? He wants to rile up his supporters, and who knows what they do. I mean, this is what he does when he thinks he's gonna lose the election. It's rigged, so he can rile people up. In the case of this impeachment inquiry, it's gonna lead to a civil war-like fracture in America. It's almost like priming them to act out if they don't get exactly what they want.
So he's now doing this on 1,000 different fronts. So I went on his Twitter feed. This is a hilarious little act of principle that I do, that I don't follow Donald Trump on Twitter because I know he's obsessed with how many people follow him. But now as a person who works in news, every once in a while I gotta go to his feed. I looked at his Twitter feed for the last 2 days last night. I was stunned. He spends all day on Twitter.
Yep.
I couldn't believe how many tweets there were. Yeah. There was dozens of tweets over just 2 days. Tweets, retweets, Fox News tweets, rando conservative blog tweets, RNC tweets, his tweets, yelling for no reason, like everyone's all, "Where's on?" That's it, and then he moves on, right? And so, I mean, I have better stuff to do, and I'm in the news business.
Yeah.
So look, he retweeted like nearly a dozen people attacking Ed Henry on Fox News.
Oh, I remember that. Yep.
Because Ed Henry asked a perfectly legitimate question of Mark Levin about the Ukraine call. And Mark Levin was like, "How dare you? Donald Trump is awesome. And you, sir, are on Fox News and should be kissing his ass." And all of the conservative Twitter are like, "Yes, that's why they call Mark Levin the great one, because he can kiss ass better than anybody. He's the greatest at kissing ass." And Trump and Ed Henry, that lying piece of crap, and I mean, like, vile, unbelievable stuff. Now, it's not unbelievable on Twitter. That's totally normal on Twitter. And them attacking a Fox News host that isn't sufficiently loyal to Trump, perfectly normal. The president is retweeting them. He's retweeting trolls that are like threatening a Fox News host for not being loyal to him.
I mean, he's the king of trolls. He himself will attack Fox News hosts who have been incredibly fair, overly fair to Donald Trump. If they, if they say anything even a little bit critical, he'll lose it, and then he'll go after Fox News as a whole as a result of that. So, like, Trump is the king of trolls.
Could you imagine if Obama threatened civil war because white Republican voters were not sufficiently loyal to Barack Obama? Boom! Gun sales would have exploded. They would have tripled overnight. Oh yeah, how could the president do this? Trump casually threatened civil war. Everybody's like, "Oh yeah, it's Trump, yeah. The president's lunatic, let's move on." And then he says about Adam Schiff, treason.
Yeah.
So he said, "Arrest for treason?" ? And he made several references to how Adam Schiff, for the crime of investigating him, should be arrested and have other consequences related to treason. Now, the only consequence for treason is death. So imagine if Obama said, "Maybe we should arrest Darrell Issa, who's investigating me, and execute him." I mean, this is total madness, and so this is the part that's infuriating. The emperor has no clothes, and all the media, they think they're being tough on him, but they're all going around criticizing his clothes. He doesn't have any, right? They're like, "Oh, should he have worn this or should he have worn that?" He doesn't have any clothes. In this case, he's a lunatic threatening civil war, threatening to arrest and execute his political opponents. And to this day, if you went on cable news, I'm not talking about Fox News. You went on CNN or MSNBC. You talked to New York Times editors, okay? I'm just putting them all on the same thing. And you said, if given an opportunity, Donald Trump will round up his political opponents and put them in jail. They'd be like, oh, well, come on, it's a bit much.
Oh, he would, I think he would do more. I mean, this is now the second time that he has suggested execution for an opponent, right? So with Adam Schiff and this accusation of treason, which is ridiculous. And then earlier, last week, when we shared that story about how in a UN meeting, he said that the individual who informed the whistleblower, who then put out that formal whistleblower complaint, that person it betrayed him and is a spy. And he said, you know what we used to do with spies?
That's right.
Yeah.
That is a clear reference to execution. And so, in case you're wondering, the United States Constitution defines treason as treason against the United States shall consist only in levying war against them or in adhering to their enemies, giving them aid and comfort. Meaning in the middle of a war, if you join the war against America or you give the enemies of the United States aid and comfort, then you are treasonous. Kind of like what the entire South did during the Confederacy. Okay, they either declared war on America or they gave aid and comfort to the people who committed treason against America. So when you fly that Confederate flag, you're celebrating people who actually committed treason. Okay, now the current people who living in the South, they didn't do that. Okay, it was back in the day. The people having the Confederate flag are celebrating that treason, just so you know. By the way, we shouldn't round them up, okay? I disagree with them, but you don't round them up. Treason is not the president doesn't like you and would like you arrested. Okay, you've hurt the president's feelings. No, treason is, hey, we're in a war with, I don't know, Russia. I guess that wouldn't happen under Trump. I guess that's a good thing, but, or Russia has ordered us to go to war with someone else. Or by the way, Saudi Arabia or Israel ordered us to go to war with someone else. And in the middle of that war, Schiff is helping the other side and sending them secret codes about how to sink our subs. That's treason, not, hey, I have a official legal subpoena that I'm giving you as the head of a committee. But the guy is he's an dangerous.
Authoritarian, yeah.
And fascism is 100% the correct word. So anyone still debating like, who's wringing their hands? Should we call it fascist? Oh, yeah, this is what fascists do. They don't follow the law and they seek to arrest people outside of the law and then round up their political opponents, investigate them, use the government to intimidate and investigate them, arrest them on trumped up charges, not actual violations of the law. I mean, being a head of an intelligence committee or any committee in the House is not against the law. Asking for a subpoena is not against the law. Yeah. So Trump doesn't care about the law, let alone executing them. Yes, this is fascism 101. We gotta get him out of office. Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.